Hola, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our product training call tonight. We have a very exciting lineup for you this evening, and I'm excited because we have Kim Ivy, who is our guest speaker tonight, and we're gonna talk tonight about essential oils and what essential oils, are essential for the summer months. So what works best, why, all these different topics we're going to go into. And just a little background, excuse me, on Kim. Kim is a certified aromatherapist. She is a certified holistic health coach and a digestive health expert. So she is key on our panel of experts to really kind of take a deep dive into essential oils. She is essentially a detox diva and a nutrition guru, which I love. And she's a wellness advocate, mentor, coach, and entrepreneur extraordinaire. So we're really excited to welcome Kim. Kim, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. I look forward to this.
Thank you. Yes. And so I always start the first slide, just for everyone that's on the call, with really what is a very simple mantra for us at Wakaya Perfection. So Wakaya Perfection allows you to enjoy simple and delicious ways to detox, hydrate, lose weight, and feel great. And that's really the core mission of what we do. And we brought Kim on tonight to speak to us about the essential oils. I think, Kim, you're speaking about 5 tonight, right? You're speaking about 4 essential oils and 1 carrier oil.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to you because you're the expert, but I love these slides because they really kind of talk about the conversation with essential oils and a lot of the things that we don't know. I can tell you personally, I always thought essential oils, the word was essential oils that meant you had to have them in your life, but that's not what they mean. They have a deeper meaning than that. So it's all about you, Kim.
Well, I love essential oils on so many levels, but this is a great picture. I really like how you can see the coffee, and you can just by looking at it, you can smell it. And like they say, a picture tells 1,000 words. So let's talk about smell. It's something that often we really we don't think about until we come up on it. Literally, you walk by the theater, you smell the popcorn, you want it. You walk by in the morning, you smell coffee, you need it. It's one of those things that triggers, our mind to a memory or to a habit that we are very accustomed to, because that smell takes us back somewhere. I mean, when I think of honeysuckle, I think of Maine. You go to New York and you can smell just people, and I mean that in a kind way. It's just moving, and it's just very congested, and you can smell that. In Alaska, currently right now, we're on fire, so you smell the smell of the aroma of the trees burning. So we have a very small limbic lobe that runs behind our nose and goes into our brain, our oblongata, and 1 million molecules, whether we're thinking about it or not, are constantly smelling. And, that is a big key for us because you can take and put a little bit of that coffee near you, and what's the first thing that you're going to get before you go to your mouth? You're going to have that smell of coffee, and it's going to invigorate you to start that process of waking up. Same with citrus oils. So this is a really good thing right here, and it is key. Notice your 5 senses, and smelling is one of the keys. Touching, seeing, and those are just the many ways that we can do this. Essential oils are the same properties as with regards to how we apply them. So here's a good one. Let's go to this next slide. I like this right here. Let's see. I have to do the mouse. I'm not a pro here. Smelling scents have a powerful influence on our well-being. And think about that right there. That lavender, again, it's almost like you can smell it. That is a very grounding substance. Lavender has that very sweet aroma. It is something that is very calming. And I have a couple of things here with regards to that. We're not going to talk about lavender, but think about just that feeling of popcorn. I love that one because everybody goes to it so often. You can smell it. Same as if you were right there with that picture. You can smell lavender, and the first sense that you would have is that calming, just that peace. It is, and today let's talk a little bit about essential oils, and it is, for example, as they're very concentrated. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than, synthetic drugs. And the reason being is because they come from flowers, they come from bark, they come from the trees, they come from stems and plants. And oh, thank you. And I think that right there is one of the things that I love this, lemons. A good way to understand how oils benefit, just a quick view so that you can see what you're learning, is lemons grow on trees. That is a citrus oil. And they're up. And so they're up, they are lifting. They rise you, they lift your spirits, they lift your moods. And when you're cleaning your house, they lift off dirt and grease. Flowers have that sweet essence. They change the mood. And bark is a very grounding. And so you've got your oils that come from the ground, and they do just that. They work in those aspects to ground you. And you'll read that. Essential oils are highly concentrated. And like I said, 50 to 70 times more powerful. And it's because of the fat soluble. Just an example of how strong they are, peppermint. Peppermint, do you have that on there? Peppermint, 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. That is very powerful. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying that's incredible. And we talk about a little bit about, how precious oils have been used for centuries. And Kim, this presentation, we talk a little bit about the history, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail on the peppermint and the essential oils that we're focusing on this presentation. But can you talk a little bit to us about the history just of essential oils? I mean, now that you explained where they came from, how have they been used over centuries?
For years and years, we started back, we're talking about Ayurvedic medicine dated, thousands of years ago. And we use them in your basic everyday life. We used them for childbirth, for pain. We used them for curing those that were injured, broken bones. We used helichrysum. Frankincense is one that is, dated how many times in the Bible. That's a good one for you guys to look up. It has been around before Christ. That says it in the Bible, AC. It is dated that far back. We use them for nausea. We use them for moods. We use them for cleansing and detoxing, weight management, cuts, bruises, you name it. Essential oils are the healthy, natural medicine cabinet that you have in your home today. I think that one of the things you'll notice here is that there are 4,000 years, 1,000 natural and precious botanical herbs and spices have been blended into healing oils and elixirs. So we used to blend them and to utilize for cough syrups as well. I just lost. There we go. Oh, wait, I lost everybody. Essential oils have the highest. Yeah.
I was going to say that, I had no idea, but the purity of essential oils, they actually promote an environment free of disease, bacteria, virus. They're so pure because they're extracted. They're essences of, like you said, bark, fruit, flowers, everything.
Absolutely. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you have a virus, a cold virus, and right now, our weather is just El Nino. It's all over the place. So we've got the East Coast just burning up with heat, and, we've got other places that are supposed to be cold like us, and we're burning up with heat. And we're catching those bugs, bacteria that are out there in the air, and we get the common cold. And the common cold is a bacteria in your body. And you go out and you can buy all these different elixirs that are over the counter, and they're not working for you. And the reason they're not working for you is because when you have a cold, a common cold, you have a virus inside a cell. And when you take just an elixir that you buy over the counter, it is just bouncing off that cell. That cell, that virus lies inside there. Because we're made up of fat-soluble lipids, those essential oils literally go through our bloodstream, pierce through the cell, and fight the bacteria inside the cell, and allow our bodies to do what they do best, heal itself. So essential oils help us aid in the product of healing our bodies on this natural way that it was intended to do.
And Kim, can you tell us what it means when, our oils are of therapeutic grade? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So when you go into a store and you go to the shelf, you'll have a variety of different oils. And if you read the back of the labels, some will say that these are not intended to use. Those are because they're not cleansed out. They're not purified in the sense that oil should be brought, picked and delivered like a farm where they're indigenously grown. And when they go through the process of taking the oils and cold pressing them or distilling them, you want to get all those particles out. Pesticides, free of pesticides. Our therapeutic grade oils are free of pesticides, herbicides. They don't have their pure form that are literally taken from like for example, lemon. It's the rind and we literally cold press that, and the oil that's left is what you're using. And it is the purest form that you can have delivered of that particular substance, that particular fruit or that root.
That's amazing. And what I love about that is that you can actually pick and choose per season what essential oils work best for you, right? So, we're in the summer months, some essential oils you wouldn't want to have in the summer because they could make you hot, they could make you, they could make you feel differently, but we've chosen 4 essential oils and a carrier oil that we're going to go into in a moment, but, from my understanding, certain essential oils are very effective in the summer, and one of them, which we'll talk about tonight, you'll talk about, is peppermint essential oil. So you can tell us, I love what you said earlier, which is 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to, I think, 28 cups of peppermint tea?
Peppermint tea. And that's a lot that goes just to give you a good visual of how powerful they are. So, peppermint is one of my go-to all-time favorites. I mean, it's like that one substance that you need to have. Oops, I'll go back here. I think I went backwards there, guys. Sorry. It is definitely one of those ones that the whole plant is steam distilled. So I love that we don't waste anything. We literally take the stems and the leaves and everything and we boil this down. The peppermint is used right now for those that are living on the East Coast. You guys are hot. You can take that peppermint oil and apply it to the bottoms of your feet and to where the largest pores are at the bottom of your feet. You can mix it and put it in a little spray bottle and I like to use glass because oils break down petrochemicals, so that breaks down plastics. But put it in a little oil with a little bit of a carrier oil, spray it on you, and it is a natural cooling mist for you. Peppermint is also currently being used in a study in the hospitals for use in the aid of nausea. Peppermint is wonderful for nausea. It's also your go-to when you are using, excuse me, I need some bula.
Me too.
It's also used for when you have digestive issues. I use peppermint whenever I have heartburn, and it's far better than using Tums for me because it's faster.
And it even goes back, if you see this next slide, it even goes back to 1000 BC, where the Egyptians grew mint and peppermint in their gardens for therapeutic purposes. So, and like you said, especially as a digestive aid and cleanser. So peppermint has been around for years. And so tell us a little bit, so our ambassadors have peppermint oil. How can they use it in their home and how can they use it on their body?
Oh, goodness. I love the variety of essential oils. This is my favorite part of talking about the benefits of oils. You have your basic staples, and peppermint being one of them in your essential oil collection. And peppermint you can use for not just the benefits of, the astringents, the topical uses and so forth, but you can also make them for your household cleaning supplies. If you have carpet in your home, you can mix it with baking soda and you have instant carpet refresh. And those are lifting, and that changes the mood. You can take peppermint and you can put it into a diffuser and you can rid yourself of flies. You can put some in cotton balls and put them around areas that you don't want bugs to creep in. And we're at this time of the month, we're in the summer months, and you've got a lot of different things that are coming up. And you think peppermint invigorates, so it repels as well. And that's something to keep in mind. It is also something that you can use for headaches. I was doing a study not too long ago about peppermint, and I'll get to these right here. One of my favorite things at any of those right now, this webinar, the first thing that I did is I took some peppermint and I put it on my temples so that I could focus, so I could have a clear mind when I was going through all this, so that I could deliver the best of me. That is peppermint. It gives you the best of yourself. It invigorates you to help you focus. As long as, not to mention my breath that nobody can smell it, it helps you with that too.
We have our Slim to Win challenge, and I have done a lot of reading that I have heard that peppermint is known to reduce hunger cravings by inhaling it, kind of staves off, any hunger cravings or munchies that you have. A great energy booster. I can speak to that personally. I've been sick the past 2 weeks, and I have been smelling my peppermint religiously with the hopes that I'll get my perk back, and everything from achy joints as well.
Absolutely. Peppermint is also one of those, in the old days, you like the history of it, so I'll share this. They used to take and they would take the leaves before they actually learned that they could distill it. That's one of the kindle oils. And the leaves actually have a very oily substance through the veins. And they would take it and they would rub it on their hands for those achy joints in the farmers. And that's when they realized that, they needed a little bit more of the carrier oil that we'll talk about later, so that it would actually go a little bit further into the joints as they rub those sore joints working on the farms. So that's just a little tidbit for you.
Interesting. Well, let's move to our next, kind of our hero product with Wakaya Perfection is obviously ginger is such a big focus for us. Can you tell us a little bit about the ginger root essential oil?
Absolutely. Ginger is probably one of my favorites. And I'm sure many people have pens and paper right now. So here's a few things to jot down. It's an analgesic. It's an expectorant. It's a stimulant. It's anti-inflammatory. It works. It's probably one of my all-time favorites. This is one that's very near and dear to me. Digestive issues and motion sickness is one thing that people didn't realize that it's used for. Nausea, hypertension, and possible uses for diabetes. Ginger has just got a long list. My favorite with regards to ginger is the ability to really work with that gut health. And as many of you know, that I got to meet at Kansas City, if you had the opportunity of us being able to meet one another, I talk often about Crohn's because my son has Crohn's, and I currently use ginger with our clay. And I do this by utilizing those large pores on the feet, biggest pores to really create like a sponge to your gut. And I say that it's odd from the feet to the gut, but the pores being so large, what I do is I take the clay mask and I put it on the bottoms of his feet, and I literally just detox him that way. I wash it off, and then I apply the ginger to the bottoms of his feet, and using a little bit of peppermint to aid him in his nausea. And doing this process, I have literally taken the bad out, and I'm applying good in. And when you apply ginger to the bottoms of feet, essential oils can literally travel through your body 40 times faster than any other substance that you'll put into it, even just like water. And it will literally touch every cell in your body within a minute, every single cell. And with that being said, we've actually put on weight for Cameron because we've been able to give him the good nutrients.
Oh, that's great. Well, and then in testament to that, I mean, we look at, Chinese have used ginger tonics to treat ailments for over, 4,700 years. And you can use it so easily, like you said, on your feet. But also, I personally put a few drops in my shampoo and conditioner to stimulate and refresh the scalp, which I love. And there's a number of different effects that it can help with summer tips. So tell us a little bit about that.
Ginger can really improve your mood. You can, for those, and this is one of the other ones I love, that especially like in our shampoo and stuff, I have found that even my husband, he likes it just because that getting ready to go to work, he works in the emergency room, he uses the shampoo, and it does exactly what you talked about, putting it in your personal shampoo, and he uses it and it invigorates you, improves that mood. And, if you just want to, at work, do something really quick, you can put a little bit of a cotton ball. You can put it in a little glass container on your desk and just smell it naturally, and it'll do the same thing. It really brings that mind and body into balance. Ginger, as we talked about nausea, it is a great way when you're traveling as much as you do, Jennifer, and as many as you guys are going around to, meet your new ambassador, your next ambassador. This is a great way to take those nerves off, work with your tummy, to bring that side of you to balance. And balance starts within your core, and that is your gut. So ginger's really just that, the root.
Yeah, it's a great jet lag solution. I will give you that. And I love the cotton ball idea. I haven't thought about using that because that's like a really nice way to inhale it. Now, what about the next, which is actually one of my favorite, pink grapefruit essential oil? Can you talk to us a little bit about how that's extracted and what that does?
Yeah, grapefruit is, and notice that this is not just grapefruit oil. This is pink grapefruit oil. So that's something to really keep in mind as well, because there is a bit of a difference. It is derived from I'm never really good with saying these, Paradisi grapefruit plant. It's known to act and curb sugar cravings, disinfect, and cleanse the body. So we're right back to those basic, how there's so many uses to every single one. It's originated in the West Indies, and it is given the name grapefruit because it looked like clusters of grapes on the trees. Here, I love this because you'll notice that I talk often about an easy way to remember how oils, what do you use? You're feeling a little blue right now and really want to lift yourself up. You can go to a citrus oil. But notice that grapefruit right there is also close to the earth. They're not high on the ground. So it is a grounding agent too. So it has the benefits of both worlds. So that's what makes it so unique, because you can lift yourself up as well as calm yourself down. So that's good.
Go ahead. About they do grow very low.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And this is one that, go ahead. I kind of breaking up there. This is one with our Slim to Win challenge that I would absolutely, definitely have in my cabinet to win the challenge, because you can utilize this in your glass of water with some pink grapefruit, and it will curb that appetite, same as peppermint. I actually have a little blend that I mix together in my diffuser where I use grapefruit, peppermint, and a little bit of lemon to boost the smell and kind of cut through, that stagnant air and really lift myself up when I'm cleaning. This is great for women, the menstrual cramps. It also, for those, not just menstrual cramp, but think of those that are currently having the changes of growing older, going through hormones and stuff. Grapefruit is a great go-to to lift yourself out of that fog, that mental clarity that we have. And grapefruit enhances those senses so that we can kind of snap out of it. Another one of my teenage daughters love for that glow. And the grapefruit oil mixed with a little bit of carrier oil. As an astringent, you wouldn't want to use a carrier oil. Just like it says here, I'd use 4 to 5 drops in my bath. If there are blemishes, I would literally put right directly onto the skin. Keep in mind, though, if you ever get an essential oil in your eye, you do not want to use water to get it out. You want to use a carrier oil to get it out. Water only intensifies the oil. So you'll want to use a carrier oil. So fractionated coconut oil, olive oil, anything that is in that retrospect to get it out. Eucalyptus, definitely, I think many people's favorite oil, just because
I love the smell.
I do too. It just lifts. It brings a sense. I will tell you, for those that currently right now with all the heat going on in the summer months, eucalyptus is the go-to for asthmatics. This is one of those ones that not only does it go through that lymphatic load into the oblongata, but it literally, as it inhales, it invigorates all the petechiae in your lungs that open up to make those blood vessels constrict and contract. Exactly what our lungs need to do. So if you're struggling and you're wheezing and the heat's getting to you, or you have all those allergies, eucalyptus is those ones that you're going to utilize to really open yourself up. And I love this one. My favorite. Go ahead.
I grew up in LA, so we had a ton of eucalyptus, but I didn't realize that they, originated from Australia.
Yes. Eucalyptus is a native to Australia. And it's been passed through the centuries, and like many oils, we have different varieties. Just like when you go to the store, an apple, there's all kinds of different apples. But I love our eucalyptus. If you've smelled it, and obviously I do a lot of sniffing, telling the difference between different brands and so forth. I love Wakaya's oil, especially the eucalyptus. It has got this very refreshing sense to it that just, I noticed that right as soon as I take off the wooden cap, one of my favorite added things there, the wooden cap, we should always keep, not plastics, but wooden. And you smell it, you can just smell that it really brings you to a place of peace.
Yeah, it really is uplifting. And I love this slide, because this woman just kind of running in the meadow, because that's how I feel when I smell it. It's so effective. And I feel, especially when I use it in the bath, I really feel the respiratory kind of easing.
Absolutely. And that is one that you can use topically. That is another one that you can use through a diffuser. That we've also been, and before people had diffusers and stuff in the old days, what they did is they took an old 5-gallon soup pot and they would bring it to a boil, the water to a boil. Then they would turn it down to a low simmer. And they would pour the oil on top and invigorate their entire house that way. When they had the old wooden stoves, they used to just put a kettle right onto the stove, put the water in it and add that and just let it steam all day. And that is how they dealt with their colds back in the day.
Wow. Well, I also found it interesting that it helps with bug bites, which is, in the summer months, that's like mosquitoes are like the biggest, culprits.
Absolutely. And I live in a state where they pick you up and carry you away. So, that it is, again, it's a repellent. So, our bug blend is phenomenal. I'm in the thick of mosquitoes. Currently right now we have, and I'm sure across the country, I feel so far away from all of you guys, even though, Blake's in Japan, that's even further, but our bugs out here with all the different things, we've got this new one called a hornet. It's a black wasp that is originated from, somewhere. I can't think of it right at the time, but I've been using it on the children to repel those guys. And the mosquitoes, and I've noticed that they have literally stayed off the children. And that is because we've got that eucalyptus in there. And they're pure. They're 40 times more potent than going and buying yourself DEET, which is only going to bring your children down. So you're going to have these happy kids and you're going to have them bug-free at the same time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention this is one of the oils in that allergy relief. And so that's why, with it being in the roller ball, that it's just really easy to rub on and apply to children, to yourself, right? And that's just another great way to get the eucalyptus then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I do feel like the eucalyptus is it's, even though we say summer, it really is year round, right? Because you can have the January cold months. It can help you in the June months, and it's pretty effective. But what I find interesting too, which I did not know, is that I loved essential oils, but I didn't realize that carrier oils have an actual purpose, right? Carrier oils do exactly what the name says. They actually carry the oil into your body faster. And sometimes when you put essential oils directly, on your skin topically, if they're too strong and too powerful, which a lot of them are, they're direct essences of, bark and flowers, they can affect your skin. So I love that, we have two different type of carrier oils. The one we're going to speak about tonight is the fractionated coconut carrier oil. I'm a huge fan of coconut carrier oil, but you talk to us about this.
Yeah, I love fractionated coconut oil. I use it probably as one of my first go-tos when I'm using it for carrier oil for my children, and or like now, speaking of eucalyptus and peppermint, when you have those sore hands, I use it because I can mix the two together to create a blend. So you can take peppermint and eucalyptus and a fractionated coconut oil and apply it to those sore hands after working. That is another way to use it, is to blend the two oils and make a happy bridge in between and bring them together and get the benefits of both of them, as they will literally go with each one of them to give you the most maximum benefits of them.
So now I use coconut oil after the shower, and I know fractionated coconut oil is a fraction of the coconut oil, right? So is it less greasy? Tell us the consistency and kind of where it comes from. I hear it's very light, and I've used it. I like it because it's not so heavy.
Coconut oil it's a feather light emollient, as you've got here. It doesn't clog the pores because it literally goes through our skin and goes through the dermis layer, and it doesn't leave a residue. It absorbs into our skin like a sponge, just like Blake was talking about. It literally goes through and carries the oil with it down. It's got a non-greasy sense because our skin absorbs it right into our bloodstream.
That's amazing. And so a lot of people use it because of the absorption rate, right? I mean, this is the best way to get all those extracts back into your skin quickly.
Absolutely. And it actually covers a larger portion of the area too. Because if you have a single drop of the oil, which like I've said, it's 40 to 70 times more powerful. If you take that and you use it with your carrier oil, you're going to be able to cover a larger portion of your area. So if you want to get it all over the entire foot, you wouldn't want to use 10 drops of oil. You don't need to. You take a carrier oil and you can maximize the benefit of a single drop. So I really enjoy that because it doesn't, the oil is not greasy. It is just utilizing to maximize the oil that you've taken to apply it to that area. And a lot of people,
go ahead.
A lot of people always ask me, if you're allergic to nuts, can you use coconut oil? And that is something that I think is very key here. Yeah, my son is highly allergic to nuts. And when I began using oils, it was one of my first questions in school. Can you use fractionated coconut oil with someone that's allergic to nuts? And my answer is always consult with your doctor. But for me and my experience of numerous folks that I have used essential oils with, is coconut oil is not one that you're allergic to. Because of the way that it's taken from there, it's cold pressed, and it is very, very light. So that is one of the reasons that I use this one. If you ever have that fear of not, that's why I would go to grapeseed oil that we have also as a carrier oil.
And can you tell us a little bit about just real quickly, the difference between the fractionated coconut oil and the grapeseed? Because they're very different.
Yeah, our grapeseed oil is much more heavier. It's dense. It's like utilizing it. I like to experiment it this way: is you've got vegetable oil and you've got olive oil. And if you were to mix them in water, you could literally see the olive oil just collecting itself around because it's heavier. Same with grapeseed oil. Fractionated coconut oil would just start rising to the top because it's light. And that is a great way to take a look and try to understand how powerful these oils are and what you're trying to use them for. So here, like this coconut oil, you're trying to cover a large portion of your area of your body, like your feet or maybe your tummy. Like right here, it talks about stretch marks and skin relief. If you're trying to create something and take our pink grapefruit and make a astringent for your face after you've, doctored up those blemishes and stuff, I would use a fractionated coconut oil because it would cover that area nicely and lightly and not leave that big residue. But if you're looking to massage and oil in for those painful joints, peppermint, take a grapeseed oil, and I would use that because it would really put it through into each area in that small area that we're utilizing, and to try to really focus in that condensed area of pain and utilize the oil to maximize the area that we want to focus on. And I lost everybody. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Well, I love that we have our own individual essential oils that, like you pointed out, you can kind of mix and match depending on how you feel. And then Blake had pointed out, our proprietary blends, which are the allergy relief and the immune support. So we really do have a lot of options for everyone out there. And, Kim, as you know, our products are not intended to diagnose or treat or cure or prevent any type of disease. But what we do is we're empowering you, and especially with your expertise, empowering our ambassadors with different ways to use them with documented findings on the benefits. And I think that's really what we're doing.
I really like the way that here, and you've really tipped off the major facts of what is so special about our oils in the summer. They're just a small variety, but these are ones that I would go to on a daily basis. When you're making over your medicine cabinet, you're going to want to have certain things, obviously, every single day. And these are some of the ones that I wouldn't go out. These are the ones through the summer that I would definitely have. Our allergy blend, one of the reasons that I would have a go-to for an essential oil with an allergy blend is because you can't take Benadryl when you're working. If you're anything like me, you get very sleepy. You know, you shouldn't be driving and different things. You just don't know how it's going to affect you. They're synthetic. Here, you're going to get a therapeutic grade, and you're going to get rid of any of those pesticides and stuff, but you're going to get, it's going to, if you're thinking that you're having an allergic reaction to because you got a hold of something and you've got your allergy blend or just the pollen in the air, all the stuff that's coming out right now, you've got something right at your aid right when you need it. And that is what I like here. We're starting you off in the summer months. We're working with those things, but those are things that carry over into everyday uses as well as into our winter months because there's so many things with each one.
Well, like I said, you know, barbecuing the other night and having eucalyptus oil is perfect for getting rid of those nasty bugs, which are all over, you know, especially in Manhattan being so close to the water. And Kim, thank you so much. You've been so helpful as our oils expert. We're excited because we're going to have you on more frequently. We're actually going to have you on with different seasonal combinations of our oils, which will be very effective. So we really thank you for coming on tonight and kind of giving us some summer tips. And we always like to, before we end these calls, just reiterate the fact that, you know, not only do we have experts like Kim Ivey on the phone telling us how we can use our products, but we have a very well-established brand that has been, Wakai Perfection has been well-established for the last 4 years. So not only do you have the quality products, but you do have this well-established brand, obviously loved by Oprah Winfrey as well as Dr. Deepak Chopra. So for us, we're really excited to have experts like you come on, take the time out of your day, especially when you're having a terrible fire up there in Alaska, and give us your time and share with us your expertise because, you know, we can give our ambassadors these amazing products, but we really need experts to tell us how to use them. So we thank you so much for spending time with us this evening.
I'm really grateful for the opportunity just to help each and every one of you share this with yourself, your new ambassadors, and most importantly, your family.
And we also want to thank all of the people who have joined us on this call and the webinar and all those that will watch the recording. It's through all of our work together that we get this message out there to make a difference in the lives of people. Thank you so much for being on. And thank you again, Kim and Jennifer, for your time and sharing this with us. Vinaka, everyone.
Vinaka.